Oneus has accomplished so much within such a short period of time, especially considering that they're a relatively new group and aren't part of the big three. They debuted with the song Valkyrie back on January 9th, 2019, the title track of their first full album EP, Light Us. Valkyrie itself has been streamed on Spotify over 10 million times, and on Genie over 500,000 times, making it Oneus' most streamed title track. On YouTube, the song has totaled over 20 million views on 1TheK, and 2.7 million on Oneus' official channel, with over 750,000 combined likes or thumbs up. As of last month, it is also reported by Gaon Charts that the Light Us album has almost 35,000 total sales. Overall, this was a great jumpstart into the K-pop scene, and a successful debut for our 6 new rookies. It wasn't long after this debut that Oneus got their official fandom name. On March 21st, 2019, it was announced that Oneus fans were to be called Two Moons, and cutely enough, the boys even had a gesture to go along with it.
네, 저희 인사드리겠습니다. 둘, 셋, 원어스! 안녕하세요, 원어스입니다!
Other potential names included One Heart, One Air, and You and New, Cosmos, and even Asum. I think the right choice was made here. Recently, Oneus and Two Moons celebrated the first anniversary of our fandom name, and it was a very special occasion.
Two Moon! Happy birthday! 생일 축하해요! 1주년 축하해요! 고마워! Happy birthday, Two Moon!
Next up comes the release of their second EP album, Raise Us, with the title track Twilight on May 29th, 2019. Hovering around 5 million streams on Spotify and 300,000 on Genie, I'd like to think that Twilight did fairly well, albeit not as much so as Valkyrie. However, the Raise Us album, on the other hand, has over 37,000 total sales, according to the Gaon monthly album chart, which is more sales as compared to Light Us, despite being released after Light Us. This is wonderful news, and means that Oneus was able to garner more fans after their first comeback. YouTube-wise, Twilight has totaled 12 million views to date on the 1TheK YouTube channel, and 1.6 million views on Oneus' official channel, meaning that the song has just under 15 million views, with a combined like and thumbs up count of over 430,000 at that. In other words, these newbies are killing it. Only a few weeks later, on June 21st, 2019, Oneus announced that they would be holding their first concerts in Japan, titled 2019 Oneus Japan First Live. The first concert took place in Osaka on July 28th, and in Tokyo on August 25th. In between the two concerts, during the beginning of August, Oneus released their first Japanese single, Twilight, which included 5 songs. A Japanese version of their title track Valkyrie, a Japanese version of their title track Twilight, an instrumental version of Twilight, and 2 exclusive Japanese songs, titled Koisi and Kiseki, or Longing and Miracle in English. This single was an absolute hit, selling over 60,000 copies within the first 2 months of its release. It soon became evident that Oneus' entrance into the Japanese market would prove to be prosperous and even give them a reputation boost. Just before their next EP album release, Oneus announced in mid-September that they would be going on their first United States tour, dubbed the Fly With Us Tour, visiting the cities of New York, Chicago, Atlanta, Dallas, Minneapolis, and Los Angeles in November. For a rookie group, to already go on tour in America within 1 year of their debut is incredible. So many fans had requested that this tour happen, and so My Music Taste decided to make that dream a reality. But first, we have the release of Oneus's third EP album, Fly With Us, on September 30th, 2019, with the title track that we all know and love, titled Lit. With over 5 million streams on Spotify and 280,000 on Genie, one might think that Lit is fairly neck and neck with Twilight, but in actuality, Lit ended up drawing more attention than the latter. Sites such as Soompi, All K-pop, and Billboard couldn't stop talking about how great the song is. Fly With Us also entered Billboard's World Album Chart at number 15, making it their first album to receive such a feat. Lit itself entered the World Digital Song Sales at number 14, beating Oneus's previous record of number 15 from Valkyrie back in January of 2019. On YouTube, Lit holds a combined 16.3 million views and 656,000 likes, which is great considering that this song is more recent than Twilight, but has collected the attention and viewership of many more people, of more fans, introducing even more people to Oneus. Sales-wise, the Fly With Us album is Oneus's most popular of the 3 main EPs, totaling over 46,000. As you can tell by the numbers, this is exactly the attention and fame that they needed right before beginning their first major tour.
둘, 셋, 원어스! 안녕하세요, 원어스입니다.
네, 저희가 드디어 미국 투어를 하게 됐습니다.
와우!
After successfully performing in 6 of the United States' largest and most populous cities, one would think that they would be ready to take a break. You know, take some time to rest or indulge in the success of their tour, but apparently not, because just over a month after their final concert in Los Angeles, Oneus released their second Japanese single, titled 808. Surpassing Twilight in sales at over 36,000, selling over 3,500 album copies within one day of release, topping Billboard Japan Top 100, topping the Oricon single charts, and even being the best-selling single on said charts, you can say that Oneus has a huge influence and impact on Japan. Both of their Japanese albums did amazingly well, and both their presence and activities in Japan have only grown since then. Less than 2 weeks later, Oneus announced their official colors, which are Earth, Pantone 7691C, Pantone 7724C, Pantone P11C, Moon, which is Pantone P101C, and White Glittering Space. Interestingly enough, they're the first K-pop group to announce 5 different official colors. A few days later, Two Moons also got to preview the contents of the Oneus official Two Moon First Generation Fanship Welcome Kit, which was announced back in November but didn't have its contents revealed yet. Of course, it ended up following the color scheme of Oneus's official colors, which, might I add, are very beautiful. For a group to have their official colors in first official fanship within less than a year is amazing. Oneus are a truly impressive group, not to mention that the official Oneus lightstick is also in production. Did you know that there are K-pop groups out there that still don't have a lightstick, fanship, or official colors, and have been active for many years? It's crazy. We should consider us Two Moons very lucky. Once again, a few days later, Oneus had their first anniversary of their debut date on January 9th, meaning that they have been around for just over a year now. To celebrate this occasion, they held a fan meeting event titled Our Moment in Seoul. Since then, we have also celebrated the first anniversary of Two Moons' name, which I mentioned earlier on, and in early February, Oneus held their second series of concerts in Japan, this time for their Fly With Us final. The performances took place in both Osaka and Chiba, with thousands of fans in attendance. Then, in late March, it was announced that Oneus would be joining Mnet's reality television competition titled Road to Kingdom, which will do nothing but help them become even more popular and let their name be known. Four days after this was announced, Oneus came out with their most recent album, a single album titled In Its Time, with the title track, A Song Written Easily. It has only been a few days since its release, and as of the recording of this video, several thousand copies have already been sold. Over 1 million views combined have been viewed from the music video on both the 1theK and Oneus' channels. And most importantly, A Song Written Easily had jumped to the #1 spot on the United States iTunes Top K-pop Songs chart, beating out huge groups such as BTS, ITZY, NCT, and more. For Oneus, this is unprecedented, and just reflects on how much they have grown and become more popular and admired since debut. I'm genuinely excited to see how much more Oneus will thrive with future albums, and how much larger of a fandom base they will inevitably gain. So now you should have a general idea of Oneus' timeline of their biggest accomplishments. From the stats and numbers behind their album streams and sales, as well as the sheer success and development associated with them, to their American and Japanese tours, to their official fanship and fandom name, official colors with their lightstick on the way, so many achievements and feats within such a short period of time. 6 albums released, over 30 million total streams on Spotify, several interviews and stages and appearances on shows like Weekly Idol and King on Box, and I haven't even mentioned the awards yet. Oneus won the Soribada Best K-Music Awards Next Artist Award, as well as the Fan and Star Award for Rising Star, and the KY Star Award for Most Anticipated Idol. In addition, Oneus was also nominated for several other awards, such as the New Male Artist Award by Genie Music Awards, and the New Artist Award, Popularity Award, and Hallyu Special Award by Seoul Music Awards. While they didn't win these, even being nominated is still one big leap forward, and goes to show that, as the days go on, Oneus is becoming more and more recognized and appreciated. I know that one day, they'll get all of the admiration and prominence that they deserve, and the only way that they can do that is if us 2 Moons keep supporting them every step of the way.